What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a good episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Disney, Wayfair, and beyond earnings. We're going to be talking about a new IPO that is skyrocketing today. We have a lot of momentum plays, a lot of really great momentum play setups for tomorrow, and we have an $8.6 million option that we're going to be talking about at the end of this video. And then we're going to be answering your guys' questions. So, Tom, to get us started, tell us what happened with Disney today.
Yeah, pretty much Disney went ahead and reported earnings right after close, and they ended up losing $1 billion in profits, and that's just in their parks division alone. So they're definitely down in after hours, as you can see, about 3 to 4%. So it was kind of an expected move here, but if you go from the high of today, they're down 7%. But overall today, the market had a very weird day. The market went in the morning and shot straight up, and then in the afternoon, it tanked off and fell as everybody started reporting earnings. I believe the market started really pricing that in.
Yeah, for sure. So Disney, they fell in earnings, obviously, as you guys can see. But one thing to note is that even if you bought Disney puts, you'll probably still lose on those because Disney fell within the expected move. Like, yes, they're down. They're down to about $98. But the options aren't going to explode too much. And this is just another reason why I don't like to trade options, especially I don't like to trade options on earnings. I love to trade options, but earnings, you really have to get outside that expected move, kind of like Wayfair. So, Tom, if you want to show W was up about like 30%. What were that? 20? How much?
Yeah, nice 38%. Wow.
Yeah, 38% at the highest. So, when you have an earnings beat like that, that's when you see options just explode. So, like, I'm just curious. So, some of the Wayfair call options for this week on the weekly chain are up 400, 500, 400%. So, that's huge. So, Tom, if you want to tell us a little bit about what happened with Wayfair earnings fundamentally.
Yeah, pretty much they ended up getting a whole bunch of analyst upgrades, and they ended up having a lot more cash than they were expecting because they have a ton of new customers. Obviously, people are ordering a lot of stuff from them right now, considering they do a lot of things online, and their numbers look decent. And right now, decent numbers are good numbers in the market, right, considering what's going on.
Exactly, yeah. So in this market, decent numbers are good numbers. So pretty much the market is expecting all these companies to report huge losses. And like, let's say for easy math, like let's say the market is expecting a company to report a $1 billion loss. And let's say they report a $500 million loss, right? A $500 million loss is still bad, but it's not as bad as everyone was expecting, and in this type of market, that would make stocks go up. With Wayfair, they do have a lot of cash. Like Tom said, they have a lot of new customers, and they're actually making more per customer recently. So that's great news for Wayfair. Beyond.
Yep, BYND, they also reported earnings today. They ended up reporting good earnings. Their meat company ended up doing very well. It's doing very bad. Their meat supply chain is having a lot of issues right now. But besides that, they have surprising profits going on and good earnings. And they are doing a lot of discounts right now. And I'm sure that they're having contracts with companies like Burger King and other supply chains that use their food right now for takeout services, because a lot of people are ordering takeout, and kind of like we've seen with McDonald's, like their stock isn't doing too bad right now during the virus either.
Yeah, exactly. And with Beyond, like Tom said, just want to reiterate it. Beyond came out with a surprise profit this quarter. So no one was expecting Beyond to make a profit, but they did. So that's great news. And I'm sure you guys saw with like the meat supply chain, it's getting kind of messed up, kind of like the other commodity supply chains right now. So that would in turn help Beyond in a positive way. And then, Tom, if you want to tell us a little bit about GAN, the new gaming IPO.
Yeah, GAN is a very interesting IPO. You can see that they only have one candlestick on the daily chart over here because they did IPO today. And you can see they did have very high volatility once they IPO'd at around $10.60. They ended up shooting all the way up to $14. Now, the chart says they only shot up about 50%. But for people who are holding their private company shares before they IPO'd, they actually shot up about 400% today. So this was a very big thing. And what they do is that they pretty much do casinos online at home. So you can pretty much go to the casino on your computer and bet that way rather than going, risking getting the virus going to a casino. And obviously all the casinos right now are closed. So this is going to be a very big industry, I think, coming forward.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. So yeah, guys, those are pretty much the four like hot stocks for today. But now for the possible momentum plays for tomorrow. In the first one, we have ABBV. So Tom, if you could pull us up on a daily chart real quick. Pretty much with these momentum plays, guys, if they break the high, like for example, ABBV is up. If ABBV breaks the high, what was the high today, Tom?
86.50.
86.50. So if ABBV breaks 86.50 tomorrow, it would be a good bullish trade. So that's how the momentum plays work. If they break the lows, and it's a good bearish trade. So we have ABBV, we have SFIX, we have ABT, NCLH, UNH, and RCL. So keep those in mind. I'm definitely looking at NCLH and RCL. They are with the cruise lines, and I'm in a bearish position on American Airlines right now, which is looking really good right now. Just need a little bit more time, but the cruise industry and the airline industry is kind of moving in sympathy right now. So I will definitely have my eye on the NCLH and RCL trade specifically. Waiting for those to break lows. If they do break lows, I'll be getting in a bearish position. Okay, so with the unusual options activity for today, we have an $8.6 million valuation right here for this option. It is the Tesla 850 call options that expire on May 8th, which is this week. So the 850 call options, right? This is very far out of the money. Tesla was up a little bit today, but it's not really moving. I'm very confident that whoever traded these options sold them short for premium, meaning they want these options to expire worthless. So pretty much if you want to piggyback off this trade, the best way to piggyback off of it is to sell the 850 calls. However, that requires a lot of premium, and you might not have that. So what you could do instead is you could sell like a call credit spread and sell like the 850 call and buy like the 855 call, okay? Or you could just buy Tesla puts, but that won't be a direct correlation to this trade because this trade is going to win as long as Tesla is below 850. So keep that in mind. And now we're going to get into everyone's comments from last video. So the first comment is from Gio. So when the market goes back to normal, are plays easier to call in more profitable options than the volatility going on right now? They are easier to call out and just trade overall. We are in such a volatile market right now, and it's just craziness is going on right now. But generally, when the market goes back to normal, it's easier. You're not going to see opportunities when, we have stocks like Amazon, for example, when they run up like 20% in 1 week, you're not going to see that. So there's pros and cons of a volatile market, but in general, normal markets are better. So then we have Hunter saying, awesome vid. Can I get your opinions on Disney's streaming service and how that will impact them long-term in the next podcast? Also, what do you think is going to happen to all these biotech stocks focused on the coronavirus once this all passes? Keep crushing it, guys. So yeah, of course. Thank you, Hunter, for your endless comments and support. So personally, I think that Disney's streaming service, I think that's going to help them long-term. I don't really follow Disney too much, but I do think it's a great move, a great avenue for it's a great avenue to be in.
Same here. That's exactly what I think with them. I think it's a good thing to get into, especially considering, they want that avenue of their online memberships, and that's what that is. It's just like a subscription service. So they're getting like $10 a month from like, a million people or something. Yeah.
A ton of people. So, and on top of that, I think it's just a good way to utilize all of the, you could call them assets that they already have, like all their animation movies and everything, all their movies and all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a good way to use what they already made. So I like it. He also said, what do you think is going to happen to all these biotech stocks focused on the coronavirus once all this passes? It depends. I mean, some companies are going to come out of this a winner, even if they don't, successfully make a vaccine for it, just because they have that exposure and they like learn things. You know what I mean? Like some of these companies are exploding just off the coronavirus news, just because they're getting their name out there. They're in the race, you could say. But for companies that are like, I don't know, like what is it, Gilead and mRNA, who are heavily focused on it. If they're strongly competing, like for example, let's say like Gilead strongly competing with a different company, and they're fighting back and forth to see who's going to make this virus or make the vaccine first. If like let's say Gilead, let's say Gilead gets the first vaccine and they are the first to distribute it, all that. I feel like Gilead's, next in line competitors will suffer. But in general, I feel like a lot of opportunity has been created from this whole pandemic. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think the same thing. And one other thing to keep in mind is that I have heard them talk about this virus kind of be something like the flu, to where we're going to have a season like this every year now. And if that's the case, a lot of these companies will need, they'll be making money off of this down the road, because next year, then once this season comes back around, kind of like flu season, then they'll have to get back into it. Now, I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I have read articles that said that. But during this time, there's been a lot of false articles that have come out. So.
Yeah, of course. So Savage said, what about REITs like MFA and IVR? Okay, I've never looked at those REITs before. Tom, can you pull them up real quick? MFA,
Yep.
IVR. Okay,
Oh, wow.
168, never. I would never ever even touch this.
Way too low.
They cannot sustain any type of dividend that they're paying, so I would never touch that. What about IVR? I would never touch that either.
Same thing.
But I do know some good like real estate, good dividend stocks, or SPG. If you do want to look into that one, SPG is a lot better quality. And then you have O. So if you want to pull that, yeah. So O and SPG are better ones, better versions. They're more expensive, but
it'll be a lot safer for you too.
It's a lot safer. Like it's a very, very high probability of MFA and IVR disappearing or stopping their dividends within the next year, if that, So we'll see. W said, what are some key few things you look at when trading? Because I know you said you don't trade with price targets in mind. So pretty much I watch momentum. Guys, keep in mind, I've been staring at the markets every single day for the past 5 years. After that long, you just kind of get a feeling for it. But, a lot of it's momentum. So like, Tom, if you could pull up a Boeing chart real quick, that intraday is fine. Like with the Boeing day trade today, like I saw like it had a lot of momentum downwards. Like in the simplest way to put it is it had strong red candles from the open. It just wasn't strong, had strong volume, which shows a lot of selling, but it was a weak play. So a lot of it's with experience, but like I said, a lot of it's just with experience. Peter said, what's your take on Microsoft $177.50 to 185 calls? There was a lot of volume on those today, and they expire this week. So let's see. Mike, how much is Microsoft up, Tom, this today?
They're up about 1% from open, but they did end up flying up about 2% today.
I see. Let's see. Let me take a look at this real quick. I mean, I don't love them. I mean, they're strongly correlated with Apple. I've had mixed feelings on Apple for the past couple days. Microsoft, it just doesn't look too great for me. Do you see anything, Tom?
No, I don't see anything too good technically about them. I think honestly they're approaching their high of about 190, and I'd look for them to start to honestly be bearish once they hit that high of 190, just technically, because just an obvious resistance up there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it might be a good trade if you've done more research than us, but I don't see anything special about Microsoft, at least right now. So Terry said, so glad you guys mentioned AMD because I'm long 100 shares and I'm hoping it continues to rally. And I'm enjoying this YouTube channel. Keep it up. Thank you. What's AMD at?
It's at 51.52.
Yeah, so fell today, unfortunately, but you could always sell covered calls, which is good, Terry. So just like let's say you got in at like let's say $50, you could sell like the 55 strike calls, like they expire like a month out or whatever, and put yourself in a win-win situation. Let me see. So Joe said, "Hey guys, what are your thoughts on NAT? Their IB
It's
percentile
tankers.
is at about $80 right now. Thinking of selling 10 October $4 puts at $100 each." I would never trade something like this. I would never trade something this low. Looks like a giant pump and dump, but I haven't
Yeah.
done too much research on it. But just based off the chart, is something I would never trade.
Yeah, same here. It's definitely one of those pump and dumps. I know it's been getting a lot of popularity once the coronavirus has been out, and I've seen it. I've seen it around, but it's a stock that once you see something go from $2 a share to $9 a share within a year's time frame, you definitely have to be really careful of that falling back down. Just like how imagine the people who bought it at $7 or $8 and now it's at $4 or $5. They're probably pissed right now. And if it keeps going, if it keeps going down, obviously, that's going to be a very bad trade for people because it's so low in price that if this moves 2 points, you're losing 50% here. So
Yeah.
that's the reason we don't like to trade these low price stocks.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like it's not like it just went from $2 to $9 over the course of a year. Like it has like these 2 week run ups that are just explosions, and it fades back down, and then like 2 week or in the next 2 week period it explodes back up. It's just something I would never trade. Let me take a look. So we have Max saying, "Thanks as always, guys. I want to know what you guys think of Chipotle stock, which is CMG, and the MACD showing a trend reversal coming. I think the market is up early this week to find off some of that terrible job numbers. News coming this weekend. Let me see. Tesla trade was similar to Apple. Let me see. Okay. Gap down. Okay, so CMG. Let me take a look at this. McDonald's is doing pretty well despite the market going crazy. CMG, I would expect.
They're doing pretty well too.
Yeah, they are doing pretty well.
Good earnings even.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything specific, any specific opportunity. No, I wouldn't necessarily short them right now. And I also wouldn't really long them. Like I think you could get away with like selling puts on them, like, like selling like the 600 put or like the 700 put, kind of like a win-win. If CMG does fall, then you get 100 shares of CMG at an amazing price. If it doesn't fall, then you keep the premium. That's how I would play it.
Yeah, it's a very smart play on this one.
So Ali said, "Great video, guys. I really like the momentum plays you guys give out and the simplicity in playing them. It's amazing. But can you guys share how you watch all these stocks? There must be some automatic alerts you are probably setting up on these, right?" No. So, you can do that, but literally, guys, I take out the momentum plays, I write them down on a piece of paper, and then the next morning when it comes to trade them, I'm just cycling through them. I'm just eyeing it out. You can set the alerts. I'm sure that would work great, but my style is I like to have them right in front of me. I just write them down, and if I see they're breaking the high, I get in, or the low, I get in, and if not, then I don't trade it. So that's just how I do it. You can definitely set alerts though. So yeah. Josh said, "Are you guys mostly playing on the breakout method?" So yes, mainly. So guys, if you guys want free options/stock trading alerts, click the link in the description down below. The Discord. It's a free community. I give out free options alerts every single day. So I do those day trades. I do these breakout trades in the podcast. And I do the stat modeling plays, which is a premium service. You could also find more information about that in the link in the description down below called the options alerts. Pretty much you want to trade the same options that I'm trading. You will want to go with the options alerts, which is stat modeling, in the link in the description down below. But yeah, so I just stick to those three avenues. And as of right now, it's doing pretty good, especially in this market. Ronnie said, "Great video, guys. What about NVDA for momentum play? So NVDA, let me take a look at this
That
real.
would have been a good play.
Yeah, it would have. That would have been a good play. Didn't I think we had AMD or Intel or something?
Yeah, AMD.
Yeah, we had AMD on the watch list yesterday, so they moved kind of in sympathy. But NVDA would have been a good play. So that's good. Mason said, great video. Okay, guys, so that looks like it was it for the questions. Tom, did you have any last minute stocks, options, anything before we end the podcast for today?
No, I think that does a good video, Mike. We appreciate the comments, guys. Keep them coming.
Exactly. So Tom mentioned the comments, guys. So I just want to thank all of you guys so much for supporting this channel. You guys don't even know, but the comments are what's really, really exploding the channel. The channel's doing so good lately, and I just want to say, just an extra thank you to everyone who's commenting. It's a total win-win. It helps grow the channel, and then by commenting, you guys get your questions answered. So just want to say, special thank you to you guys who comment. And then, guys, don't forget to subscribe. You guys could see pretty much exactly what we're going to trade the next day, our free stock market watch list. Every day you can see that on your YouTube homepage. All you have to do is subscribe to us. So if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, as always, you could let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.